Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Most of the day we've enjoyed quiet weather, but our First Alert storm team has been on alert for storms to fire around the area, and they are. Let's get the latest now from Hutch in your First Alert forecast.
Thanks so much, Andrea. Here's what you need to know. We do have some showers and storms moving in on the Grand Forks area. Those have been non-severe and unimpressive, to be honest with you. But along the South Dakota border here near Sisseton and moving into your area right now is a very strong thunderstorm that is severe and capable of some large hail. Here is a look at that storm. There is a warning in effect for the Sisseton area. You can see all of the pink on the radar right now, indicative of some sizable hail. That warning is in effect, as you can see, till 5:15 p.m. It's moving right over the I-29 corridor with that hail core right now. So from Sisseton south to the I-29 corridor, we'll be moving in towards Lake Traverse and Browns Valley shortly, but taking you in, that hail core is just off to the south of you in Sisseton. It is possible you're getting some sizable hail there as we speak. Here's a look at that hail core moving right over the I-29 corridor. So we're watching that closely. We're also watching this storm having a history of producing a tornado that touched down, confirmed, out in Marshall County, South Dakota to your west. It will be in Sisseton now, so seek shelter now and on towards Diamond, and we'll keep you updated as to the strength of this storm. But I want to point out there is still some spin or shear on the far south side of this, south of Sisseton, where that hail core is pushing over the highway corridor. So as this approaches Browns Valley and out there towards the Traverse area, you'll want to seek shelter in that interior room, staying away from windows. Again, it's hot, it is muggy, it's hotter out to the west. Here is a view from our friends at the Dakota Magic Casino. We have that bird's eye view of this storm. We'll be able to let you know if anything nasty is taking place with it. 85 tonight in Fargo, cooling down a little bit after sunset. I'll have hour-by-hour details on more thunderstorm development tonight. Andrea, there is a chance that more of us could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll have the latest on that, and we'll look ahead toward your weekend in just a moment.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch. One Fargo family is continuing their fight against child sexual assault this weekend with the second annual Ride with Natalie fundraiser at Harley-Davidson. It's a story we first brought to you in 2019 when the then 13-year-old babysitter responsible for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old girl named Natalie was convicted and sentenced to 1 year of probation. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with Natalie and her family today and has our story.
Rosa Strube says last year's inaugural fundraiser started all by accident, as the plan initially was only for a small motorcycle ride to help her then 5-year-old daughter.
Natalie had a trigger of parks for her PTSD. She was raped facing a park, and we wanted to replace a really horrific memory with a really good one.
The ride turned out over 200 riders and raised $7,200, a number they're hoping to crush this year.
The biker community in general loves to rally around causes, especially stuff that involves children, and this is just one of those that is super special.
We're hoping for 300 motorcycles, and we would really like to raise $10,000 for them this year.
The money raised goes directly to the Red River Children's Advocacy Center, who offer free mental health services to victims and their families, a place Strube says has helped put her family back together again.
It was a really tough time, and they were compassionate and understanding, and it was a safe place to be angry and to be sad and to feel all of the emotions that come with hearing what happened to your child.
Strube says Natalie graduated from therapy last summer as she no longer shows signs of PTSD. She says this year's mission is to not only empower Natalie.
She wants all the little girls like her to know that they're world changers, and she wants people to ride with us so that we can show them what a world changer looks like, and that when you look in the mirror, you're one too.
I'm brave and I'm strong.
In West Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Strube says anyone wanting to ride must show up at Harley-Davidson in West Fargo by 12:30 Sunday afternoon, saying the ride will end at Hooligans Bar in West Fargo. New for you now at 5. Authorities in the Northern Valley need your help finding Erin Paterka. Authorities say she was dropped off on July 31st at 10:30 p.m. at a residence in Arvilla, North Dakota. Since that day, family and friends have not heard from her. If you have any information on her whereabouts, go ahead and reach out to the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office. That phone number is on your screen, 780-8280. One man is now in jail after a fight with his grandmother. It happened last night around 11 when the Polk County Sheriff's Office was responded to a report of a grandson fighting with his grandmother in Foston. When they arrived, the deputies identified the suspect as 26-year-old Kevin Anderson. Anderson reportedly assaulted his grandmother before law enforcement were called. Alcohol was believed to be involved. Deputies arrested Anderson for 5th-degree domestic assault. The female victim has minor injuries. A Fargo man is currently recovering at a local hospital after going through an amputation. Friends and family of Aaron Maves tell us he lost his right leg after a farming accident. The incident reportedly happened yesterday at Red River Commodities along 42nd Street South. They say he was cleaning a drain vent when he got sucked in. Maves is currently in stable condition. Authorities in Fargo quickly resolved a situation involving an armed suicidal man earlier today. When officers arrived at the France Apartments, they noticed the man involved was armed with a pistol. There were other people inside the house as well. After negotiations, everyone was brought out safely, including the man who was suicidal. He was taken to a hospital for further help. No one was injured. Let's take a look now at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting another 835 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 8 new deaths linked to the illness. In total, over 1,700 deaths have been attributed to the disease, while over 60,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 232 new cases, along with 2 new deaths in the state. The death toll now sits at 132, and the active case count is up to 1,501. Schools and colleges all over the United States are facing challenges as coronavirus cases continue to rise. Some teachers' unions say they will not be forced to work in conditions that they say are unsafe. David Begnot reports from Miami.
6, 7, 8.
New York City teachers protested in Brooklyn Thursday, demanding that the city implement what they say are essential safety measures. In the Midwest, teachers in Detroit say they're prepared to strike if the city does not provide adequate testing before classrooms reopen. And out west, one Arizona school district delayed in-person learning after teachers there staged a sick-out. Some experts are urging local officials to just err on the side of caution.
It can't be schools as usual this fall. We can only go back when community spread is under control and when aggressive risk reduction strategies are in place within the 4 walls of the school.
You know, risk reduction appears to be a problem at colleges across the country. Schools in at least 17 states have reported positive cases on campus. Parties like this at North Carolina State University forced that school to put all classes online. At Purdue University in Indiana, 36 students were suspended for holding a party in violation of the university's health rules. At Penn State University, a party outside a freshman dormitory was broken up by campus police. And at Syracuse, hundreds of freshman students, many without masks, were seen gathered together on the quad. Now the university says it may have to shut down campus before classes even start.
Everyone wants the college experience. Everyone wants to party. It's Syracuse University, and I want to have a college experience too. I want to have a graduation. I want to be able to go to class. And it's just not going to happen if people don't follow the guidelines.
You know, Dr. Deborah Birx, who's a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, is advising colleges to invest in what she calls surge testing. What does that mean? 5 to 10,000 tests every day. That's a lot, but it gives you the idea of scale that's needed to handle things on campus and try and get back to some sense of normalcy. David Begnaud, CBS News, Miami.
In Florida, the state's largest teachers union and the State Department of Education will give their closing arguments later today. The union sued the state over a mandate for in-person learning in most school districts. New figures show Minnesota's unemployment rate fell to 7.7% in July from 8.6% a month earlier. But the State Department of Employment and Economic Development is cautioning that job growth is slowing as the pandemic persists. The agency says Minnesota added 32,500 payroll jobs in July, while the U.S. added 1.8 million jobs in July. Postal Service changes and delays before the election prompts lawmakers to call the Postmaster General to Capitol Hill. How he said they would handle your mail-in ballot is next on Valley News Live at 5.
A severe thunderstorm is working its way over the I-29 corridor, just now exiting the Sisseton area. It's showing signs of rotation and large hail. Gusty winds to 60 miles per hour possible. It'll be in Browns Valley shortly. Your forecast is next.